Do you ever just feel like you're in the waiting room of your life? It's like you're watching and seeing everybody else do what they were destined to do, and the only person that's not is you. You feel left out. You feel like God's forgotten you. You feel like no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get to where you so badly want to be. When I think about this, I think of when will my life begin? And it's very relatable because sometimes I like to imagine that I am in a waiting room and that the doctor is God, is the universe, and I'm just there waiting. When is it going to be my turn? When am I going to go in next? And I'm seeing everybody else get their diagnosis, everybody else on their life path, and the only person that isn't is me. But I know I'm not alone in this, because the chances are you probably feel this way as well. So let's talk about how you can appreciate the waiting room of your life. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you've not watched my videos before, then hi, my name is Fleur. This is your space for all things self-development where we focus on growth, mindset and becoming the best version of yourself. So welcome to this space. Now in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 different tips on how to appreciate the waiting room. Not necessarily how to get out of it, but how to understand why we're even in it in the first place. When you really understand why you feel a certain emotion, it's much easier to be able to navigate what to do next. Number one, I want to remind you that you've been here before, and so there is always going to be a way out of this. I think back to when I went through my breakup and how for a good 6 months to even a year, I generally didn't think that there was any point in living. I didn't know who I was anymore because I had lost myself in that relationship. I didn't know what I wanted from my life. I didn't know how to live my life without that person there. And so I just allowed myself to imagine that maybe this was just the end for me, that maybe there really wasn't anything else waiting for me, that maybe that I didn't have a path, that maybe I wasn't destined for anything. And I literally stayed in my room non-stop every day, 24 hours, just thinking that I didn't amount to anything, so I shouldn't even try. And I came to this point where I realized that if I didn't dictate my own life, no one else was going to do it for me. So I got up, I learned how to drive, which is crazy. Not even a week after the relationship ended, I was like, you know what, let's go. Let's go and take our first driving lesson, something that completely terrified me. I joined societies, I made new friends, I put myself out of my comfort zone. I went to networking events, I went to book events, I became myself again. I loved myself, and now I've been single for 2 years and I generally couldn't be happier. People ask me all the time, well, don't you miss having a boyfriend? Obviously, I'm a lover girl. I love romance, I love love, and when the time comes, I will be ready for that. But right now, I generally couldn't be happier. I see everything in myself that I've always wanted to see, and it's like I'm dating myself almost, which is what I always try to advocate on this channel about going on solo dates and allowing yourself to have that time by yourself. But when I think that I'm struggling, I just think back to that time of my life and I remember how I managed to get out of that pain, I managed to get out of that suffering, and so why do I think that I'm not going to be able to do that again? I literally have evidence of how I became a different person. I went from this horribly depressed person. I mean, you could see it in my eyes. I was so depressed. There was no life in my face. My clothes were all black. I was quite edgy. It wasn't necessarily me deep down. I mean, I have nothing against people that wear edgy clothes or listen to edgy music, but for me, I think that I was almost going in a phase that I just gravitated towards those depressing clothes and to those depressing songs because that was how I felt inside. I felt dead inside. Only until I managed to find myself again did I actually get to a point where I was starting to find myself, and I was starting to wear colour again, and I was starting to laugh more, and I was starting to just appreciate everything that there was to myself and to my character and to the woman that I've always wanted to be. And if I can get through that, why would I trick myself into believing that I can't do it again when I know deep down that no matter what is thrown my way, I have the strength to get through it. I will always have that strength, just as you will always have that strength. It's always going to be a part of who you are. So don't fool yourself into believing that you aren't good enough or that you're not going to be able to reach outside of yourself to become better, because you will. Number 2 is that hitting rock bottom is genuinely the best thing that can ever happen to you. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when you hit rock bottom, there is only one way you can go from here, and that is up. That means that now everything that's going to come in your future is going to be 10 times better than you could ever imagine. You are going to hit all the goals that you've always wanted to hit. You're going to become that person you've always wanted to become. There is nothing that can hold you down. There is nothing that can bring you down further than you currently are. And so now that means you can only get better. You can only become better. You can only do better. And there is nothing more positive than to remind yourself of that. I know it's really difficult to think, oh yeah, but I can't get myself out of this hole. It's like you're in this deep hole. There's no ladder. There's no way out. It's not like you can exactly fly out. And it's never going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy route out, but it will be gradual. Maybe you'll start climbing your way out, and eventually you'll realize, without even thinking about it, that you are out of that hole and that you've been out of that hole for a while. And I think the beauty of healing is that there's no certain date. You can't say, oh, in 2 months' time I'm going to heal, or in 6 months' time I would have healed. You never know when you're going to heal, and there's never really a date where you do. I mean, I'm still healing. I'm still working on myself. I'm still working on my past trauma. That doesn't mean that I've set a date in my mind for when I need to be healed. I've just allowed myself to be every single version of myself, because there is no one I should feel safer with than myself. And when I finally came home to myself, I realized that even in those darkest, deepest moments, I know how to get out. I've been there. Like I said, I can get out. And also, there is only up. I can only do better from here. So whenever you're rock bottom, just remind yourself, you can't go any further down than you currently are. So the only way is up. Number 3 is that I want you to ask yourself, what do you think that God or the universe is trying to teach you? What kind of lesson are you meant to be learning here? I think that if we consistently repeat something, or we're consistently going over the same problem that we have, or dealing with the same trauma that we've been trying to get rid of for ages, it's because we haven't learned a lesson that we were meant to have learnt to be able to move on to the next step. Life really is a game. There's different levels, and I think that, let's say you are always allowing yourself to be treated with disrespect, you're allowing yourself to be that doormat, you're friends with all of these toxic people that don't actually appreciate you, you're still going to go through that consistent cycle of never feeling loved until you one day wake up and realize, actually, I deserve better than this, and I need to spend time by myself until I find the people that are right for me. This can be said for relationships, for your career, for yourself, whatever it may be. The universe is going to keep throwing it back into your face until you've learnt the lesson that you're meant to learn. And so sometimes the only thing that you can really do is just allow yourself to be in that waiting room and take it as a chance to reflect before you see the doctor. Before you go into the doctor's room, you need to know what exactly is wrong with you. And so how can you possibly create the life of your dreams if you don't even know what that looks like, if you don't even know yourself? Learn about yourself, love yourself, be there for yourself, create that vision for yourself, and then you will come out of the waiting room. But you cannot do that until you have done those things. Number 4 is that sometimes growth looks like rest. Now, this is coming from someone who is the productive queen that she's always wanted to be. I'm very focused on my work. When I have a goal, I set myself to do everything I possibly can to achieve it, and I don't give up. I'm very disciplined. I know what I want, and when I want something, I will get it. The only thing is that sometimes I forget that I am actually not a robot, that I am a human being, and that rest is as productive as being productive, and that sometimes I'm in the waiting room of my life because the universe just simply wants me to slow down. It's like, for the past 3 years, I have been working so hard and locking in to get a first class honours, and I did. I graduated with a first class honours just a few weeks ago, and now I'm trying to think, oh my god, I don't like this period of my life where I'm not really doing as much as I know I could, where I'm almost in this restful stage of my life, and I don't want to be here anymore. I want to make something of myself. I want to do something with my life. I want to be useful. But sometimes I can't do any of that until I've allowed myself to be with myself and be in the present moment and know that maybe what I need to do is rest, because I might not get the chance to rest again for quite a while. It's like, you can wish to have that life that you've always wanted, but what happens if you get that life and then you're not able to rest as much as you currently are? I think we really need to be grateful for absolutely everything that we have in the present moment. It's a bit like when we're wishing to have a partner, but then when we have a partner, we realize that we really should have spent more time by ourselves because there was a lot of healing that we should have done before that relationship. You're never going to get this time being single again, especially if you date to marry. I mean, I'm not saying that necessarily you're going to stay with that person for the rest of your life. Relationships all have their own reasons, and sometimes someone's not meant to be in your life for the rest of your life. But what I'm saying is that you never know. And so if you date to marry, marry like I do, then why would you wish away that time that you have with yourself when you might not have this time to yourself ever again? Be here in the present moment and understand that sometimes taking time out is actually the most productive thing that you can do for yourself. Number 5 is to understand that it's not your time yet, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it's fine that everybody else is coming out of their waiting room. Maybe that's because at that exact moment in time, that's when they're meant to come out of the waiting room. Maybe it's not your time just yet, and it's frustrating. It's annoying because every day that goes by where you're not living the life of your dreams, you just feel like screaming. You just feel like, well, why am I even here? What am I even doing here if I'm not here to fulfill what I know I need to fulfill? Why are you even wasting my time? Why are you doing this to me? Like, what exactly am I getting out of this? All of these questions are completely valid, and trust me, that goes through my head every single day. But I know that when the time is inherently right, it will happen. Like this, it will happen within a few seconds. It will happen when all the dice have been set, when all the cards have been played, when God is ready for it to happen, it will happen. And if you don't believe in God, then just think of it as the universe. Just think of it as there being a destiny for you. There is a path for you, but maybe not everything has happened for you to get to that point. Maybe you haven't learned all the lessons yet. Maybe you haven't appreciated the present moment enough. Maybe you haven't rested enough. You don't know why it hasn't happened yet. You cannot question that. You just have to trust and believe that no matter what the reason may be, there is a reason. There is always a reason for everything in life. And I love to think that. I'm a very spiritual person, and if I didn't think that, then I think I would lose my mind. I've been surrounded by angel numbers recently, which I've mentioned a few times. For the past 6 months, consistently, angel numbers is all I have been seeing every single day, and then it stopped for like a few weeks, and now it's come back again. And I just think that I know that that's God trying to tell me, just hang on, Fleur. Just hang on. It will happen. You will be everything you've wanted to be. Your YouTube channel will be successful, but when the time is right. And I could very easily say, you know, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years now, and the growth hasn't been as fast as maybe as it has been for other people that have been doing it for 2 years. And I could very easily give up. I could very easily say, you know what, I haven't hit what I wanted to hit. I should just give up. It's never going to happen. But I know deep down that this is right for me, that I've never felt more alive than when I'm making these videos, that I've never felt more alive when I receive comments from people telling me that I've made a difference in their life or in their day. There is nothing in my life or in this world that lights my fire as much as YouTube does, as much as being able to put content out into the world and being able to know that all the suffering that I went through for a reason, so that I could help people. Maybe not necessarily stop them from going through it, because I do believe that everybody has to go through a certain amount of pain, but to understand it and to understand themselves and to be able to understand what it is that they even want with their life. If I didn't have that waiting period so many times in my life, I never would have been able to come to that conclusion that YouTube was what I wanted to do. And so again, in this moment of my time, I can't do anything but be grateful and to know that maybe in a year's time, I'll look back to this waiting period and I'll know, oh my God, it was more crucial than the time when I wasn't in that waiting period, because I was doing things that maybe I wouldn't have had the time to do if suddenly everything blew up and suddenly my whole life was falling into place. It is falling into place just behind the scenes. Just how we don't see what goes into making an incredible film, just how we don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes of the song that you listen to every single day. There are things going on behind the scenes in your life that you don't know about just yet, and I promise you, when the time is right, it will fall into place. That leads me on to number 6, which I literally just spoke about for a whole 2 minutes, and that was that everything happens for a reason. And I just wanted to put that in here because honestly, I live my life with that quote. I don't think there's any quote in the world that has actually spoken to my soul as much as that one does, because when anything happens, even the smallest things, I just say it happened for a reason. And even the annoying things, you know, even the things where I'm like, oh my God, did it have to happen to me? Did it have to happen today? It's like, you know, for example, a few weeks ago, just before my mum's hip surgery, my car broke down and I didn't have a car for 4 to 5 weeks. I literally had no independence. I had no one to take me anywhere. And when my mum had that hip surgery, it got even worse because I was so stressed about it. But the day after she'd had the surgery, I got the car back. And I was really thinking, like, deep down, I was like, why do I think that my car was taken away from me? Like, what exactly was the reason behind that? Because I really couldn't understand why the universe would take my car away from me, especially when I just had it back. And I realized that it was because of my anxiety. I was a very anxious driver. I used to purposely not leave the house just so that I wouldn't have to drive. I would purposely avoid driving because I just really hated it. And it wasn't because I didn't trust myself. It was more that I just didn't trust everybody else on the road, and that anxiety literally overrided me to the point that I would be shaking at the end of any drive, even if it was just 5 minutes long. And in those 4 to 5 weeks that I didn't have my car, I realized how horrible it is to have that independence taken away from you, that no amount of anxiety can be worse than how that felt. And when I had my car back, it's like I'm the most confident driver in the world. Well, definitely not, but let me just tell you, compared to the version of me that I used to be about 5 weeks ago, if I want to go to the shop right now, I can go. If I want to go to the gym, I can go. And there are definitely days where I'm like, no, I don't want to drive today, where I just know that I'm not in the mood to do it, where my anxiety is a little bit too much and I just don't feel like doing it. But beforehand, that was every day, and now it's maybe like once a week, and I'm driving every single day for up to an hour, to even 2 hours sometimes, something that I never imagined would have been the case if my car wasn't taken away from me and I didn't realize how much I really needed it and how much I valued being able to drive. So sometimes even the things that annoy you, even the things that you think, why does this have to happen to me? They have a reason. You just don't know what the reason is yet, but you will definitely come to a point where one day it will click into place and you'll realize, that's why that happened. And then you won't be so mad anymore. You'll almost forget about it. Think about all the things that we used to get annoyed at and we don't even remember any of them. I can't possibly remember all the things I used to complain about or all the things I used to stress out about, because in the future, those things are going to be in the past, and they're not even going to be things that you're still stressing about. So everything happens for a reason. And if you take anything away from this video, let it be that. Number 7, again, I feel like I've already touched on this, but that is to be in the present moment. And I would just like to say that one day you will look back to this current moment in your life, even if it is slow, and you'll miss it so much. You will do anything to just go back. Like, you could just go into a time machine and just say, you know what, I want to go back to that period of my life that I actually really hated. I think about how I want to go back to the days of my life when I was at school. I think about how I miss university so much, but when I was at uni, I was almost thinking, oh my god, when is this going to end? It's just endless. I think back to when I lived with my best friend. I think back to all these versions of myself, and I remember that when I was that current version of myself, I didn't want to be in that moment in my life. I was always thinking of what was coming ahead. I was always thinking of the next chapter of the book I was reading. I was always thinking of the next step. I was never allowing myself to just appreciate the now, to appreciate the current level I was on. And only when I would get to the next level would I actually feel nostalgic for the previous one. And it's a constant cycle. It's like, I know that when I come out of this waiting room, I'm going to wish to be back in the waiting room again, just for even one day, to just experience who I am right now in this moment. So instead of feeling that way in the future, why don't you just allow yourself to be happy with what is happening in your life right now? Maybe there's something that you're not happy about. Maybe the routine that you currently have isn't the routine that you want to have, but there's nothing you can do to change it. Maybe. There's probably many maybes. But at the end of the day, is it really that deep? I feel like a meme saying that. Is it really that deep? And maybe it is that deep, but I just want you to sit with that for a moment. That this is not going to be your day-to-day for the rest of your life. That maybe you will only have the current routine that you have right now for the next 3 months or 6 months or next year. It is not permanent. And so why are you wishing away something that you are never going to get back again? Okay, now that we've sat with that, I think maybe you'll have a new perspective. Number 8 is to turn your inspiration into fuel. Instead of letting other people's success bring you down and make you feel small, allow it to inspire you. Allow watching everybody else come out of their waiting room make you feel excited. It's like, it's around the corner. It's like it's Christmas, right? Christmas is 2 months away from now, and I'm like listening to Christmas songs already, and it's not even the end of October. But it's like, I know it's coming. It's the same way with your dreams. It's the same way with everything that you want for yourself. It's coming. Like, feel that excitement. It's literally just around the corner, and there is nothing that's going to stop it from happening. And so just be excited about it. Just feel like, let it all off your shoulders. Breathe. and then feel excited. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing else that you could do. Just feel excited because it's coming. It's on its way. God is going to present. God has got the package coming to your doorstep. And now all you can do is just be excited. Try not to dote on it too much, because the minute that you dote too much on something, it doesn't happen. But when you detach from it, when you allow yourself to just become separate to that identity that you want to be, it will happen. I promise you, it will happen. Number 9, don't compare your life to someone else's, because everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different meaning of success. Everybody has different dreams. You simply cannot look at somebody's chapter 9 and compare it to your chapter 4. I say that quote all the time. It's not even that exact quote. I mean, I'm pretty sure I butcher it every time I say it, but it's so true. I think to all of the successful content creators that I watch on the daily, and I think about their journey and I compare it to mine. I'm like, oh, it only took them this amount of time to do this, and they managed to do this, and will I ever be able to do that? And my videos don't feel like that, and I don't think I'm good enough, and I don't think I'm that. Is anyone ever going to care about me or my videos? And it drives me mad. It's like this disease that's taking over my mind. It's like, they're not you. You are not the same people. And thank the Lord that you're not the same people, because if you were, you would never be able to give something unique to the people that you so badly want to give it to. Do you want to be known as that person, or do you want to be known as you? And if you say that you want to be known as someone else, then I want you to just pause this video and think, why? What is it about you that you really hate? What is it about you that you so badly want to change? When at the end of the day, there is no one that's ever going to know you as well as you know you. You are the best friend you've always wanted in someone else. That's in you. All the love that you want to receive from other people is in you. You want to receive it because you give it. You know what it's like to be loved by you, and you want to find someone who will love you the way that you love you. You already have it. It's right in front of you. It's every time you look in the mirror. It's every time you see the reflection of yourself. It's every time you are sitting in a room and the only person in the room is just you. It's there. It's in the air. You know it's there. So listen to it. Work with it. Be your own best friend. Love yourself the way that no one will ever love you, because no one can ever love you as much as you love you. And so why are you robbing that from yourself? Why are you robbing that from yourself by looking at what someone else is doing on Instagram and thinking, why does my life not look like that? Why am I not going out with friends this Halloween? Why don't I have any fun winter trips coming out? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? Shh. Close the door. Put your phone down. Look at what you have. There are probably people that are comparing their life to yours. I promise you that. There is at least one person that is looking at your life and thinking, why don't I have what they have? Why am I not as amazing as they are? Why am I not as brave as they are? Why don't I have my life figured out the way that they have their life figured out? You don't know that. You don't know that there isn't someone currently wishing for the life that you have, because that is the cycle of life. We always wish for what we don't have. And the minute we have that said thing, we realize it isn't for us, because it's not meant to be. You are on your own path. You are your own person. Your name will be remembered because it's your name, not because it's anyone else's. I promise you, comparison is the thief of joy. You've heard it before. You will hear it every single day till the day you die, because it's true. It will only rob you of the life you want. It will not get you there sooner. You are on that path. You are becoming that person you've always wanted to be. But every single time you decide to follow what someone else is doing, it's like you're coming off of your path and you're going a completely different way. And the universe is just watching you going, no, go back onto your path. You're going somewhere else. You're getting distracted. You're stopping yourself from being the person that you want to be. We're doing it. It's right there. We're trying to work with you, but you don't want to work with us. You can work with it, but stay on your path. Stay being you. There's only one you. Love that person. Number 10. The waiting room can also act like a mirror. Maybe this waiting room is an evaluation test so that you can evaluate your relationships, you can evaluate your habits, you can evaluate your mindset, your routine, the life that you want to live. You don't know, but I would like to think of it as a mirror. I would like to think of it as a mirror reflecting everything that we've been trying to ignore about our life. Maybe this pause in your life, like I said, is a chance for you to be able to strengthen the relationship you have with yourself. Or maybe it's a chance for you to be able to figure out whether the people that you have in your life are right for you or not, or whether the relationship you are in is serving you or not. Because once you walk into the next chapter of your life, once you come out of that waiting room, you'll want to do it with clarity. You'll want to know that you did everything you possibly could have done to almost end that previous chapter of your life. You'll want to know that you came out with a bang, let's say, and you will want to know who you are deep down and who deserves to go with you onto that next chapter of your life. So if you're annoyed, you're thinking, I don't want to be in this chapter of my life, remind yourself that you're not falling behind. You're just preparing for what's next. Your name will be called. Your life will begin, and when it does, everything will make sense because everything will have fallen into place. You'll know who you are. You'll know who you want in your life. You'll know who you want to become. You'll know. But until then, keep the faith in your heart. Keep showing up for yourself every single day in any possible way that you can. You've already made it through every hard day in your life. So what's to say that you can't get through another one? I feel like I was just taken over by this like motivational Buddha or something, because wow, there were moments where I was looking into the camera and I was just thinking, I'm really speaking one-to-one with someone. I just don't know who you are, but I know I'm speaking from one soul to another. But if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a comment down below what you learnt and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, because we are just about to hit 1K, which I'm very excited about. And I will see you next Sunday, as always, at 12 p.m. Bye-bye, my lovelies.